Hi there, state reps. I just wanted to show you a quick little thing that we've been doing in Georgia, and it's pretty slick. I'm in Google page there. I'm going to go to the drive for you um, to notice. I go to my drive. I'm going to go in and just show you what we've done in Georgia. We have our own little folder, and our reps are going through identifying all of the ministries that we have in our area of opportunity. And what we've done to allow ourselves to be a little more strategic and be able to work with this much data, sometimes it's difficult to understand where all these churches are and what might be missing and that kind of thing and who's got which one. What you can do is you can use a tool inside of Google in the add-ons called a mapping sheet. I'm just going to show you what it looks like and how it turns out, and then I'll show you how to create your own. So you take a spreadsheet, you connect it to the mapping add-in, and then it maps it out. I identify a couple things here, and then I do build. This is going to process all this data, and it makes a pretty slick little map for us to use. And it's right, let's see, view, and voila. So all that data on that spreadsheet is actually displayed right here, and you can move around. This is actually a Google map, and the data, you can go over here to show list, and there's all the data. If you've been around Celebrate Recovery for any amount of time, this actually looks very similar to the old group locator list. We never used to have maps and all those kind of things. You just click on the state, and then it would dump out this big old long thing. So anyway, that's the list. You can go back to show map. The map is the default. This is all the data on that spreadsheet that comes through. We've identified that we want to, and it drills in by clicking. We identified that we wanted to hover over it and see the church. So there's the church, Liberty Baptist Church is this particular one, and then there's the location. What we've done is that by default, it puts the colors out here. You can turn them off and just see where Dano's is. So this shows where all Dano's ministries are at. I can turn Dano off, and I can just go see where Deans are located at. I can then, if I want to work around this particular Atlanta area, for example, I can drill in and I can see the blues. Dano doesn't do anything around Atlanta, so we turn him off. And then we can see that Sandy doesn't do anything, and Phyllis doesn't do anything, and Marvin doesn't do anything. You can just see that by colors. So now what we can do is really drill in here, and we can see, for example, the different colors represent each individual on the left-hand side, and then we can see who has what sections. So if I wanted to turn off Mike's, for example, which is South Atlanta area, I just go over and turn off Mike's, and then there is Natty's and Dean's, and you can do that. It's quite simple. It's pretty cool. We use this, we turn them on, and then what we do is we actually try to figure out areas of opportunity. So we can see we got a whole bunch out here in Augusta, so this might be an area for us to do a team connection. As you can see, a team connection, and then team connection. We try to connect these dots. The other thing is, if you get some like way up in this area, which we do, we actually have an apprentice up that way, Phyllis Howell. She's working up in that area with the opportunity to hopefully make her a state rep. Then what can happen is, as you drill into these areas, she can look around here and go, oh, there's no CR in Homer. Oh, out this way, there's all these, Hartwell's got one, but there's none along Commerce, Brazelton, all these. So this gets an opportunity for you to look at this and manage it. This is also another way for you to see where you might want to drill into. So what I wanted to do was show you how to make this. So I'm going to get out of this one and make sure I do this correctly. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to just create a spreadsheet. I'm going to go back to my drive. I've created one as a sample right here. And this sample is just a generic. You can do this when you set up your state. If you're a state lead, you might want to do this to begin with and then have your reps put their information in. So on this, you can see where I got the rep, the church, the address, city, state, zip. I'll kind of show you why these are separate. Then this one, this column right here, and I'll help you set it up if you get stuck, is actually just combining all of this information into one. What happens sometimes, you might not have an actual address of a church, so this app will actually error out, the mapping tool will error out if it doesn't know where you're located. So you can actually change the location to be just the zip code. The challenge you have obviously is if you just map off of a zip code, then what might happen is you might get a whole bunch on one zip code and you wouldn't be able to see the detail of where they're actually located within that zip code. You can put other things in here. You can see the landing and celebration place and the email and the phone. In this particular one, it's a lot smaller, so it'll go quite a bit faster. I'm going to do add-ons, mapping sheets, start mapping. It's going to come up, and here's that default thing that it gives me the option of what I want to display. So I want to display the churches, and I'm on the left-hand side, I want to filter by the rep, and I want it to put it on the map defined by the location. Remember, this is where I was saying location is the zip or the location. So I'm going to do build. I'll show you what ends up happening too when you do the first one. It'll ask you to create this sheet, but it's pretty straightforward. This pops up, and there's the much smaller inventory. I think there's about 10 of them here, and you can see it's the same type of thing. I can turn nanos off. I can zoom in and zoom in, that kind of thing. So that's how the map tool works. You can zoom in, zoom out. You can do this. The other pretty cool thing that you didn't maybe catch the first time, I'm going to close this out, go back here. I'm going to change this from filter on the rep to filter on celebration place. Now watch this one. If I do build, I believe this will work. You always want to do build because it goes back and recalculates the data, and then you do view. Otherwise, view is going to do the last thing that's cached. So here's the nose and then the date. So this is just kind of where the mess is on trying to get your data correct. So in the state of Georgia right now, in this little sample that I have these two doing celebration place. So that's just a sample of how you can change your mapping of how to do things. Now I want to show you how do you get this mapping tool. So one thing that you might get challenged with is you open up a spreadsheet, you create the spreadsheet, and then you go up to this add-ons and this is not there. So then you're like, Dana, that's not fair. What you're going to actually do is get add-ons, and you get this new dialog box that pops up, and if you type in mapping, capital M, mapping, and hit return, it'll search, and then you'll be able to get it for free. Just click it. It'll be like this when you get it, and it'll